a night read, or is it day? I don't like the lies and all the in between. I imagine the children don't either. Let's call it daytime. Daytime. That's how my children used to say it. The oldest one specifically, he would say, uh, "Is it light time or dark time?" And I was like, "Yeah, kid, you right." So I've been listening to him ever since. She is starting to lose the battle of communication, the tug of war of communication. You see, when parents are trying to play uh, pretend, the children know the difference clearly because they are being fed by this person, and their advantage of the world as far as joking solely comes from this particular person or these people. Their mode of comedy, they don't know when to laugh. If they laugh at the wrong time, hey, we're at the funeral. So what, our wig came off? You don't laugh right now. The child is like, hey, if ever there was a time to laugh. Anyway, for the smart children, let's read, and I'd like for y'all to listen and comprehend. And then I'll explain after. She, please confirm that little person and little person have been dropped off at school today. If not, please state the reason for the absence. He, for simplicity purposes, please note our email messages and talking parents prior to this one. This is not to be difficult in any way. You already know this answer clearly. Now let's change it up a little. I'm going to say my empire so you can get a better feel, a better understanding of how the flow is going. And I want to say about 20 years. If you are 30 to age 10 in years in America, I think I think this about covers your story. At least it'll be close enough where you can feel and maybe get a better understanding. Okay, your mind, please confirm the reason for their absence. Your pie, both of the little people gave me the impression and conversation that it would be in their best interest to give them one day as a precaution. To explain this again clearly, I have given the little people fact based information. I also talk with them about some of the myths. It is a great idea to get them to a counseling session. It is your decision. I am not in the way of that in any way. I only seek to support their mental health during transitions. Empathy and support are not bad ideas for them in this difficult time. I didn't believe it to be unreasonable that they may struggle a day or two. Your mind replies to your pie. Did the little people attend online school today? Your dad replies, yes. That's the end. Let's take a quick quick recap with a little bit of play-by-play. In all seriousness, your mom is supposed to be communicating about things that need to be coordinated for you or supplied, given. You know, in a regular school day as a kid, there's a few things that's gonna make your day. Lunch and PE. Now you can have other good things inside of that, like a pizza party in science class. You love science. You love pizza. Wasn't really lunch or PE, but somehow the two came together still. This is important because this is a representation of life, representation of parenting. Everybody has a complaint about the childhood. You didn't have money or you did. Your parents had money or had access or had the time to be there or nobody had it all. If you had love, you feel like you had it all. But you complained. So we're going to go back through this with that perspective, looking for what it is in the conversation that we can discover that the children might need and whether or not somebody's in the way of that. She, please confirm that the little people have been dropped off at school. If not, state the reason they're absent. First of all, language is cold, distant. It's not. It, it's a lot of mothers in this time frame. Um, they found themselves not able to decode when they come home from their high-powered jobs. So they believe. I mean, everybody who has a job in corporate America, I'm speaking of a particular demographic, who may be new to the environment, they feel like they've won some type of class change or class upgrade. Um, they're basically just flaunting, uh, flaunting their their mediocrity because they've been made to believe that being above the very bottom of society makes you a winner. Getting a certificate and being able to flaunt that in front of the people in the lunchroom who didn't go on stage to participate in the talent show that was volunteer. You think we're upset because you are flaunting your document and we really want you to move along so we can get back talking about this video game because we had a ball. You was sitting stiff in a dress. Cool. We've already understood that the perspective of the children is to not want this. She seems to have been given some lessons uh, in communication where you dominate both sides of a question, uh, completing the possibilities and demanding a response. These are for business tactics, business communications, corporate responsibilities. Um, these kind of demand or response cover all questions are for contract conversations, accountability. We can go on, but you won't really understand it until you're sitting in those seats. Unfortunately, you have a bunch of these mothers who aren't able to decompress and debrief before making a transition from there to an environment where gentleness is needed. A lot of dads have generations of experience making this decode and this decompression. Um, it's not something to be taken lightly. Any dads who work in high stress environments, uh, military veterans, and such, uh, come home and you handle your children with a level of gentleness that it's almost automatic. It's almost we long for the moments to put down the shield and sword, and so we embrace those moments. We're not having a struggle decompressing and being high strung. If we do, that I mean, those are shut off in the face of the children. So, with that being understood, this particular point, we're already seeing that she, it's her intent is to rule and dominate. Let's read this again. She, please confirm that the little people have been dropped off to the place where they specifically asked not to be. Make sure that that's happened. In case it hasn't happened, I want to know why. I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but I'm so invested in it happening. If it hasn't happened, somebody better show up with some answers already. The dad says, to simplify this, go back and reread something. Please note email messages and some app messages prior to this one. This is what happens when a dad is being bullied and badgered. But he's so smooth, like Mike Jack. In the black and white, when the street was lighting up, he had the white socks on, pinstripe joint, did that forward lean, whatever that was. This is why we don't really acknowledge the lynching of dads in the streets, and in particular, a specific demographic, highly graceful. It's like Barry Sanders. I mean, you wouldn't really know, or Shador Sanders, you wouldn't really know that they're actually using their muscles and pounding the earth and boss and evading giants who are likely taking every anyway. Y'all know y'all we've all seen a football game or two, but the grace in how they move through at the maze of adversity and pits and dangerous collisions. It's hard to detect when you're watching from a distance. That's how it is with these conversations. You have to pay close attention. I used to tell my kids, listen to the words, forget about the colors, pay attention, read the words, don't be distracted by the colors. Separate part of the brain you need to perceive or receive that, that language, that level of communication. All right. He, this is not to be difficult in any way. You know what happens when things are difficult? Okay. Now, this is about you having or not having. Somebody's interested in difficult, and somebody's interested in no levels of difficulty about getting, not about what you want, but about what you want. She, oh no, one more from here. Your dad, you already know this answer clearly. Wow, I didn't catch that the first time. He says you already know this answer clearly. And she replies with, please confirm the reason for their absence. Now, to be exhaustive, your mother fully knew that you were absent from school already, and then sent a message to your dad and said, did they go to school? Did you drop them off? Or if not, please state the reason for the absence. And then she has to confess. She didn't even put up a fight, just got on with it because there was nothing to do. Please confirm the reason for the absence. And your dad says, y'all didn't want to go. Basically, summarizing simply, this is a day or two situation. Now she's asking where they dropped off at school. Here, before we conclude, she asks, did they attend online school? The online school and the school is the same place? To which your dad answers yes. You were in school. And she doesn't say anything else. Now, this is like this conversation while we're living life and going after things that are important. This conversation, to stop and have this conversation for your dad, you should understand, is equivalent to thinking you paused the game, but watching the game continue to go without your input, without you hitting the controls or touching anything. The game's just going. And you just gotta sit and watch the game go. You know how much stress that is? Depending on the game you're playing, I mean, but whatever game you're playing, if you're active and you're not active, bad things are gonna happen quick. Let's say it's a basketball game. You cannot play defense, that's cool. They're gonna score and the computer could do that thing, but what happens when you gotta take the ball out? That's that's usually not on automatic. You gotta stand there and watch the penalties rack up for them to get the ball. It's retarded. It's crazy. It's nonsense. It's redundant. So now we're going to read. Pay attention to the language. guess. I mean, I guess. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Oh, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, let me read. All right. Mm, okay. This is about a refusal to go to school. And we're still, this is COVID. I'm thinking that this mother weaponized the situation of COVID against the dad in order to secure control of the children for many different reasons. Let's read. Little people are refusing to go to school because you said they didn't have to. Are parents at liberty to tell their children when and when not they can attend school? Say if the kids just having had a bad dream, bad night, you know, lost a grandparent, something a few weeks ago. Like, what is it? What is it that you drill sergeant mothers are expecting from their children, or is it just this one? Is this odd? If this is normal, I want to speak to the president of the Normal Mothers Club because I got a few words for that. She said, she wrote, "You can call and talk to them. If not, I will have no other choice but to have the judge weigh in on this." Now, for all of you children that have been lied to specifically by your mother, how she's misrepresented the court's position, how she's made the courts the bad guy without the court's consent. Or maybe they consent to be the bad guy. But I am under the belief that the courts, not any specific judge, not the judge as a representation of the courts, the majority of the collection of workers, this is to include the people that clean up, are in favor of the kids. Now, they might not be the decision makers. People that work the snack machine, these are the people that I'm including in this count. Believe the courts are child leaning. However, it go it goes beyond parenting. When your parent goes to a parent, needs to go to a parent to get advice or to get a weigh in. But here's the kicker: this parent is not your parent. It's not your grandparent. They're probably old enough to be your grandparent, but it's like having going and getting cow's milk when your mother got milk in her joint. Why would you go? Why would you go to distant species, another breed? You have a grandmother. Why didn't you call her? Why would she call her to weigh in on it? Why would you call somebody else's grandmother, especially from some people who hate you in general, don't like you in general at best, not going to give you something that their grandchildren should have at least? They're going to give it to their grandchildren, like all the money your mother gave. She'll come to you and say, "Oh, the judge is making this ruling." She knocked on banged on the judge's door. Judge opened like, "Hey, what's good, Keisha? You back? I thought didn't he back from the lashes we gave him already? I'm tired from whooping him. Couldn't possibly be back, Keisha. This'll fix him, Keisha. Back again. You missed one day of school, and she turned all the way up to go to the highest. You ain't get no warning, get your name on the board. You ain't get your name called. Like peace. Peace there. None of that. Straight to the principal. That's wild. That's cool though. But you need to understand that this is what happens. This is what's real. Likely when you end up in court, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ain't no. We don't need the no. Then the yeah, yeah, yeah. No, this just yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He, I have never told the little people they did not have to go to school. And we know that this defense is solid. She's gonna confirm this little extension, this little slick slice slip of words, but you are put in a position where you need to defend this as a dad. You need to keep giving this attention. But it's a complete waste of time. It's like giving your attention to the game, but you can't use the controller to make any moves. I know a few kids that are thankful they didn't break their TV throwing the controller at the TV. And if it got God kept them through that. Or was it just me? Shit. Again, I believe it's important to talk to the children all together. The divided conversation have not been productive. We're gonna discover she's only just talking and bluffing, a complete liar. Gotta say it at this point. We're looking at it. Complete liar. I'm gonna skip all the way down the page. Let's go back. He, that accusation is absurd and reckless. Talking about he told them they didn't have to go to school. Period. The accusation is absurd and reckless. You called my phone and spoke to me personally, which is not okay. It's probably against the rules. Just doing stuff. I'm pretty sure he brought this up inside the. I wonder what was done about it. She, I will no longer call you if it's an emergency. I will inform you here. Just, 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 just. admission, doing whatever one wants. How is this? How is this okay? An okay environment for your dad to be going through? Let me tell you this. Your position is never to sit still and let anything bad happen to you or your family. I think you've all been instructed at this point and seen in films, and somehow you've gotten the message that if your dad's yelling at your mom, protect your mom. If your mom's yelling at your dad, he can handle it. That's not okay. Help your dad. That's okay. Help your dad. It's okay. You can help your dad. It's okay. Your dad helps you, yeah. Has helped your mom, yeah. Maybe your mom doesn't want to help your dad anymore. That's fine. You can help your dad. Maybe your dad doesn't want to help your mom, and that's fine. You can help your mom. But you can't help your mom hurt your dad. You can't help your dad hurt your mom unless your mom's hurting you and your dad's helping you and your mom starts to hurt your dad. Because your dad could be hurt. Don't let them lie. Your dad could be hurt very, very much so. If you haven't talked to him, I don't care what life he's living. If you know that your mom and dad spend more than a night together, if your dad knows you are in existence in this world, if he's still walking the earth, these conversations are about time to happen. You're going to have some good laughs, especially if there's something about your mother that you don't like. She's a person out here too. You can laugh at her. You can laugh at your dad, right? She, in this case, your mother, is saying she's not going to call your dad if it's not an emergency or if it is an emergency. But she created this environment where they can't speak, where you can't get help and access. All of the both people created these are lies. If both people create a destructive environment, they'll destroy each other quite quickly. One of them must want to survive for the game to play out. You know, they talk about boxing and it's going to be a slugfest. We see slugfests in the streets or hockey games. They should go for it. Boxing is skill. If you dodge one punch, you see. So here we can see the mother is writing and she says, well, I can count on you to speak to them and encourage them to go to school then. To I can count on you to do this then. This type of language is unbecoming of respectful. It's a constant assuming a position, a constant placing oneself in in a position of assumed authority or implied authority. These are tactics that can be learned in, I'd say undergrad, but very much so in master's level programming. And I think it's absurd to use these behaviors and skills uh, when dealing with children. Um, we need to compare this to something, and we can compare it to martial arts or boxing. I like the martial arts, jiu-jitsu in particular. You can have a wrestler, trained wrestler, but their skill set is different. Now, if you have somebody uh, highly skilled in jiu-jitsu and well practiced and disciplined, just jump on and attack some random person in the street, take them to the ground, and try to have a ground game. That's what it's like when a mother does this type of stuff in the space of her children. Not in defense. In defense is fantastic. In front of them for their protection is God created. This is disgusting. Secondly, you don't talk to men like this. You don't talk to fathers of children in this manner. Uh, you would you don't again you don't talk you don't use this tone and this type of banter, propagandist behavior in speech. It's a aggression with someone who's monitoring your children while you aren't with them. You don't even use this type of agitation when your children are with you. You de-escalate, de-escalate, de-escalate because the children are the criminals and gangsters know this. What type of person is this? The dad. It's disgusting too. Absolutely. You can count on me to encourage them to go to school. He, I tried to reach them on the iPad, one of the phones, and the other phone. And she writes, you can reach them via my phone. So now, as the child, you don't have a phone all of a sudden that you can speak with your dad. It has to go through the gatekeeper. If you're a child in the house and you all of a sudden your dad stops calling, you might be told something like, by a film or some story you heard in the street that your dad just got tired of or whatever. He out living his life with his new girlfriend or his new motorcycle. Uh, Whatever you might have been told, understand this for male children. Your dad's a man who used to play video games and play sports and run and do all the stuff you're doing more than likely because you're his son. That doesn't put you in a position of belittlement. The sick part is that you have women who have children out here calling men daddy. So now a son can't even embrace the term because it's been perverted. Because this is perverse. Once there's a daughter, keep your daddy. Your mother here has now put up a shield. She created a bubble around you. You're living inside of it, and she's got everything outside of her as the devil. Some odd. Now she may be within her rights to give you her vantage point of view or perspective, because maybe you reflect how she reflects in some manner, and yeah, of course, it's needed that you understand what may be ahead of you in life. But your dad is not a part of that outside. It's impossible. If you're inside, he's inside. There's no keeping it out. So she's trying to separate. You see, you can't even have a conversation. You can't have an opinion different from hers. You can understand how he can't have an opinion different from hers. And we can see who is the problem here. Don't worry, you're not the only one that has a mother like this. You have a community. Y'all just need to find each other and stop being quiet. The longer y'all keep quiet, the longer y'all be like us. We've been looking for our community. It took YouTube. Because when we out in the public, there's not a lot of us, but sometimes there's some of us in the room and we won't speak up. We won't say anything. Your dad's writing it, speaking up. He said, I have not called your personal phone and will not do so now. Keeping the order here. I was recently exonerated from a protective order that caused great loss of time with my children. This is what your dad wrote. This is what your mom did. I was recently exonerated from a protective order that caused great loss of time with my children, disruption in our relationship, loss of necessary resources, and more. At this point, I must respectfully request to use any of the four options that I have set forth prior to this and not respond to this again. I have tried to assist. I will just talk with the children the next time we are together. Again, I'm open to helping, but will not violate the order. She, again, I believe it's important to talk to the children all together. The divided conversation have not been productive. There seems to be a lot of misunderstanding. I will wait to consult with the counselor. I see cooler heads have prevailed and you sent the little person to practice with his coach. Thank you for maintaining the integrity of the court order. We can do this. Also, I had a chance to speak with the little people face to face, encourage and stabilize him. I also spoke with the other little person. I was able to impart confidence, and I can assure you that they are ready to attend in person school tomorrow. She, we had already agreed to that, which is why little person went to practice. But thanks. Please don't talk to me like that again. You have no clue about my head or how I handle things around here. You refused to help me when I needed you, so please don't act like you did anything special. So you can help, but if it wasn't when at this point, we know this is the rhetoric of the badgering, butchery, low haircut, feminist mothering theory. See what I'm saying? Why is this level of aggression needed? Is it okay for anybody to disrespect your father like that? To talk to your dad like that? Is any of that cool? Does anybody want their dad to be spoken to like that while he has to stand there and take it? Would anybody like for their dad to come out victorious in a film where he kicks 30 people's pants and shoes around the room? Would you want that to be your dad's story? This is your mom doesn't want that to be your dad. Matter of fact, she works hard for that not to be your dad's story where he's a hero for you. Put that on live on YouTube. The whole time I had coffee. Hold on. Dang. It ain't warm, but it's good. Good, good, but it's still good. All right, she. Please don't talk to me like that again. You refused to help me when I needed you, so please don't act like you did anything special. I had a long talk with them today. We agreed. First of all, she negated the fact that he spoke to him as if he didn't speak to him. Let's see. I had a long talk with them today and we agreed on our plans tomorrow again. So please don't try and pretend you did anything special. I think it's interesting that you continue to sneak around and talk to them without including me. Children, your dad has a right to. We're not even gonna say he has a right. What right does your mom have to tell you that you can't talk to your dad without her presence? Who- She, I think it's interesting that you continue to sneak around and talk to them without including me. Sneak around. Your dad has a whole house. In some cases, he got a family, children, a wife, job, and everything else around the corner, motorcycle included. And you could be in his place where he pay property taxes and a bunch of other stuff that you don't even know about. And somehow he's sneaking around and talking to you. Sneaking around. That's this is what is this? She again indicating that you are the good parent. I am over that narrative. Come on, Keisha. Until you have enough integrity to talk to the kids without me present. No, talk to the kids with me present to show that we are a united front. Why? Clearly, they're not a united front. Obviously, reading and listeningly, they're not a united front. What is why would he? Why would she want to present falsehoods in front of you, the children? Not that they disagree and they went somewhere and agreed, and then came out in agreement in accordance to show this united front. You just want to front united. This is how you as a child grow up without the confidence. If you're a daughter, you sleep with a bunch of guys because you don't really know what. If you're a son, you don't handle women with care. You just move to the next because you're watching it play out. The problem is you can't pretend a good marriage. You can't pretend a healthy parenting relationship. You can't front that. You can't cap that. It's not gonna happen. She writes, I'm over that narrative. Until you have enough integrity to talk to the kids with me present, then isn't she the one that keeps inviting the judge into the conversation who separates? Isn't she part of the separating committee? She, please don't position yourself as the savior. And I am not the hothead. You should check your language and yourself. Little person's coach came over and had a talk with him and supported me and encouraged him. I bet he did. I'm sure he did. She. So you should thank his coach. Let's end with this. Why? Because this started out about a refusal to go to school, which was actually a refusal to go to um, in-person school, which was actually exercising an option and not a refusal at all. And somehow we got all the way down to the dad should thank a coach. The dad who's a coach, who's the coach, should thank the new coach who came through to help her and to help the child. These are the games that whorish ish mothers play. And they teach the sons that as men they're unimportant. They're not valuable. Your dad isn't even valuable. He could easily be replaced by this better man. Not actually a better man. He's just put more time into a specific category like muscles or education or getting to the bread, or he got a flock of other single moms who believe in the same uh, who believe in the same course of living, where they invite other men in to show their young man that there's another man who's a different example of another man. Now, myself in particular, having been in that situation a time or two, I like to go ahead and remind the young brothers that your dad is whoever he is, and this is a relationship over here. The man inside the house deserves respect as a man, but if your mother is clearly asserting another man as an authority over you while stripping your father of his authority and trying to have you assume, that's incorrect. You maintain your father's authority at the highest. That's the law of God. So, as dads that speak in this manner, well within their rights to tell the mothers to go straight to hell. You can't, you can't direct your children to violate the laws of God. Who are you? Honor your mother and your father. Who are you? For sons who have mothers that feel like they need to appease their mother or care for their mother. If your mother is in a fight, I'm sure you can tell. If your mother's winning a fight, you should be able to tell. If your mother's losing a fight, I'm sure she's going to make it known to you that she's losing that fight. Could be in quick outbursts, no telling. But without Without going too far, of course, there's not a mother alive who's 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 interested in seeing their children be without a hero. It's just a bunch of you sorry bastards try to make sure it's not the dad. Here's the deal. There's nothing you can do about it. We prevail because it was written before you got here. Part 8 coming. Peace.